Yeah, no, obviously, we understand the Big East is one of the best soccer conferences in the country. Um, every team in the Big East is a challenge, with Georgetown being a pretty steep challenge. And so we typically get Georgetown in October, so the fact that we're getting them in September, I like. And we're really excited to be able to get them at Morrison Stadium during Creighton days. So it should be a good crowd, and it should be a good match for all to enjoy.
What are the challenges of playing this year's Georgetown team?
They have a lot of firepower, and they can get you a couple different ways. They're a team that is very good on the combination in the final third. They're a fast-paced team that can run in behind. They're an energetic team that will work hard to win second balls and maximize their opportunities on goal. And so these are all challenges that we're going to face on Friday night, and we hope to keep them away from our 18-yard box.
You didn't play them last year, right?
Right.
Is that different scheming for them, scouting for them, or how do you change your approach when you haven't played a team since, in nearly 2 years? How's that affect your approach?
I don't think it affects our approach. I think regardless of whether or not we're playing them every year or we're playing them every other year because of the schematics of how our Big East is now split up into two conferences, we understand that, Georgetown won a national championship a couple years ago. We understand that they are a national power in regards to men's soccer. And so I don't think that really changes our approach in how we're going to face them on Friday, regardless of whether we played them last year or not. But we are very excited to be able to play against Georgetown.
Do you have any preference, like you mentioned with this year's team, you mentioned Georgetown plays at a very high pace. Does that suit your team better, or would you rather see a team that's more defensive oriented?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's especially in our sport, it's very difficult to actually make the game if you have a team that's sitting back and trying to, quote unquote, park the bus in front of their 18-yard box. It's very difficult to break down 11 individuals when they're all behind the ball. I'll be honest, I prefer to play teams that come out and look for the game as well. And I think it makes for a better showcase for the people that are in attendance. I don't foresee Georgetown coming here and getting 11 people behind the ball and just expecting us to make the game. I expect it to be quite an enjoyable game, kind of like Tulsa. Tulsa came out and they tried to play, and so I think we'll see the same in Georgetown.
Had the loss to Denver, 2 shutouts since then. What has that done for your momentum heading into Big East play?
No, I think it's great, and it does a lot for our confidence as well, because we know that match is not a 3-1 type of match. That match is a match that we could have won. We understand that in that match, there was portions of that game where we were in the driver's seat. And the fact that Denver has gone on to do as well as they have, I think right now they're ranked second or first in the country. I think the guys understand how we did against that team that's right now ranked, top of the country. And it gives us confidence moving forward. And I think that had a lot to do with our approach to Grand Canyon and our approach to Tulsa.
With Shimonishi getting Defensive Player of the Week for the Big East, what can you talk about how he has affected your team as far as on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, Shimonishi is a very smart soccer player. At times you might have players that are very dynamic, players that are very fast, but Shimonishi is definitely a high IQ type of player, and that's on both sides of the ball. I think defensively, his positioning is pretty good. He understands the rigors of defending, and he tries to defend with his eyes rather than with his body first, which I think is a good quality to have. But I think he also gives us a calmness on the ball as we're moving from middle third to attacking third, and he does pretty well on the attack. I think one of his biggest weapons when we're going forward is he's a guy that can utilize his left foot and his right foot very well, both for passing and for shooting. And so I think he's fitting quite nicely with our group. Thanks, guys.